what happens when 150 masked white nationalists march through Kansas City? Well, I can show you better than I can tell you.
It is not honorable to recall their sacrifice while forgetting that country for which they fought and died. They fought for a nation that was proud of its heritage, that was unashamed to say that America was built by and for the descendants of the European race, that was unafraid to say that we have a culture deeply steeped in the Anglo-Saxon traditions of our forebears. Did our ancestors storm the forests of the Argonne, the beaches of Normandy, or the cliffs of Okinawa, so that their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren could be despised minorities in their own home, driven from the cities they built, denied the very same rights they were supposedly dying to protect? We are a disenfranchised, demoralized, and downtrodden people.
So that revisionist history speech, this Patriot rally leader, Thomas Rousseau, giving it about white people being oppressed, not for a movie. Kevin Costner's not directing this one. This is people really got dressed up in the hot sun to perpetrate this lie. Tell you more about it. 150 masked white nationalists march through Kansas City. Boy, they're quite orderly there. They practiced a lot. This is Kansas City, Missouri, Saturday, flooding downtown with Confederate flags, upside down American banners, and chants of life, liberty, victory, and reclaim America. Brazen pop-up rally, they're calling it, that alarmed residents, drew fierce condemnation from city officials and civil rights advocates too. This is a pop-up. I thought pop-ups were those things where, you're at the mall shopping or with family getting ice cream, and all of a sudden in the middle of the square, people start dancing and music starts playing. It's this coordinated thing. Well, this was coordinated for racist purposes. So it's a pop-up rally. Demonstration held on the public grounds surrounding the National World War I Museum and Memorial, organized by the white nationalist group Patriot Front, an avowed fascist organization founded in Texas in 2017. They're not even that old. Do they even have bylaws? This is a very young organization. The group's members, dressed in matching navy shirts, khaki pants, tan caps, marched in military-style formation for roughly an hour. Some carried shields, others bore symbols tied to white supremacist ideologies. Kansas City Star with the reporting here. Take the mask off. I thought generally people who behave in this manner, they don't believe in wearing masks anyway. I don't know why they have to wear them for here. Video posted on X by a verified account showed the rally's leader, Thomas Rousseau, delivering a megaphone speech as rows of masked white men stood in tight formation. Rousseau, unmasked, wearing a 10-gallon hat, gave a rousing speech invoking white power and white grievance rhetoric. The account that made the post proclaimed, "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children." Then it added, "I fully support the message, vision, grit, determination of Patriot Front." Thomas Rousseau just delivered a powerful speech at the National World War I Memorial. It ended with "White Lives Matter." Rousseau claimed that war was being waged against their people and urged his followers to take the country back. Later, Rousseau declared online, "Today was the largest action we've ever put on as an organization. It was remarkably successful, and we accomplished every single objective we set out to for the day. The event appeared to have been planned in secret, no permits requested, or police escorts arranged." That according to the Kansas City Police Department. And a Black Star giving us more details. The KCPD was unaware this group was planning to come into our city, as they do not advertise their protest march location, said Officer Elena Gonzalez. "We learned this group calls themselves the Patriot Front, and it is believed everyone involved is from out of town and not local to Kansas City." Oh, come on. Okay. They're not racist here. There's some people, I don't know if they were part of this Patriot Front rally, but like it or not, good barbecue or not, there's some racist people in Kansas City. Now, you know it and I know it. Now just stop it. Please stop it, Officer Gonzalez. She did note that because the march stayed on sidewalks, no permit was needed, no arrests or citations were made. However, video footage showed the brigade had in fact taken over the entire set of concrete steps leading up to the museum. I ask you, just think to yourselves, you don't have to call it out. Do you really believe that if they looked different or were marching under a different guise, if they would have been allowed to take over the whole set? Those steps, I don't think so, but that's just me. Let's get to the Kansas City mayor, Quentin Lucas, responded strongly in a post on X. Here it is. While the First Amendment provides the right to bring any message to Kansas City, we know that our diversity, our welcoming community, and our respect for the rights of all reject whatever hate and cowardice come our way. Museum officials quickly distanced themselves from the demonstration, whatever that means. So here we are again. I struggle, Yas, because they go back and forth of do you even give these clowns playing dress up much play? But it happened, and they do seem well organized. If I'm several clothing outlets, I want to know where they got all those blue shirts. Don't wear my blue shirt. Okay, I really would be. I don't want to name the ones that I was thinking of, but they've got incredible deals. A lot of these, you know what I'm talking about. Okay.
The blue shirts, the masks, everything. It's just kind of ridiculous, right? Like these people, I don't know. I always, every time I see racist people, I just think that these are stupid people. Like they just seem dumb to me every time. I know I say that every time that we do a story like this, but that's just what I see. I just see people who are just emotionally immature as well, right? This revisionist history that you mentioned that we heard coming from them too, that was so interesting to me because I really believe that studying history is wildly important, not just for the individual, but for all of us, right? I think it teaches humanity and empathy. It's like a psychological examination of what humans are and who we were and what we're capable of, both good and bad. And obviously it informs us of what can and will happen if certain things happen first. The study of history is pattern recognition, right? You're looking for similar things. You're making comparisons all over the place. And you're seeing that a lot of human history is very, very repetitive, right? Nothing that's happening now is unique apart from like the very modern technology and on which all of this is happening, but the humanity of it is not unique. I think most people are better off for studying history and then delving into the actual stories of the people who were involved in all of these, events that we keep hearing about. But then there are people who, despite how good their educations are, they will extrapolate what they want from the history. They will interpret things based on their own existing beliefs and prejudices, and they'll see everything through that racist or otherwise discriminatory lens. And that is what we're seeing here, right? These people said they want to reclaim America. From who, right? They want victory over who? These people are so convinced that they are disenfranchised. It really, puts into perspective that all of these things are very, very relative. And again, like they just come across as very uneducated to me. If they can look at the world today and if they can look at the world and what it once was and see themselves as the disenfranchised, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's nothing that any of us can say to convince them otherwise. At the same time, whenever you have people like me, a brown woman, telling these white men that you don't have anything to be upset about, that's what they don't like, right? Because they say, how do you know? You don't know what my life is like. You don't know what it's been. I mean, I don't want to say that I know, but I do know what it's like to be a minority. I do know that a lot of things that minorities deal with, I have a white husband. He just doesn't have to deal with certain things, like I know like that much, right? And I can try to empathize as much as I can, but at the same time, they're not willing to do the same thing. Obviously, they're not. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the way that they feel. At least not as not be so entitled about it. So.
Yeah, I wonder what these rallies are really for. Fear, recruitment, to remind you that we're here. I don't know. We know you're here, boo.
I mean, I do think that they feel some type of way. I don't doubt that they feel disenfranchised. I don't doubt that they're afraid that the landscape of the world that they're used to is changing, right? I think that's something that a lot of people can deal with, right? I don't love the modern world. I wish I could go back 2 decades, but I can't, And that is a reality that we all have to deal with because that's just life, So just grow up and deal with it and find your new place in this new world that we're all living in.
Yeah. It's called evolving. Mm-hmm. And just because what was, taken and given by birthright with some is evening out a little bit. Okay, let's not get it twisted here. Doesn't mean that you need, to flee South Africa because blacks are now allowed to farm or something. It's very strange, very strange. But if you want to keep doing this propaganda, it's your right, as the Mayor Quinton said in Kansas City, and good luck to you. Okay, not really. I don't really try to empathize with these suckers and losers. If you can't make it in America and you look like that, and I'm not suggesting that people don't have it hard. People have it hard, all colors. Okay, because there's the haves and the have-nots, and they're using culture wars to keep us separated. So you can't see clearly. Got it, loud and clear. But at the end of the day, where there's a will, there's a way. And look at the Chrisleys. Okay, here's a reality TV family living the American dream. They stole, they cheated, they frauded. And now they're finally free and their slate is wiped clean.
Yeah.
America, look at your life.